nice, but it's a fair distance. I think Trinity Tavern's actually closer to where I live. But we'll give it a go. I could see a bus stop either. It's a fair hike. I don't know if I'm going to walk home. Now, I'm not sure where the main entrance is here. The signage ain't the greatest, but maybe this is the entrance here, possibly. Oh well, we'll see. There you go. I had my first experience at the sports bar, and yeah, it was okay. I actually signed up for the geriatric membership. If you're over 55, you can you get a 3-year social club membership for $5, so you can't complain about that. You get 10% off all drinks and you get discounts on food. So be pretty crazy not to do that. And when Lynn comes up this way again, maybe she might want to take advantage of me having that membership, because I've used her membership at Yorkie's a few times, so that would be a good reciprocal arrangement we can have. I think it's a lot better value than the Trinity Tavern. That's expensive in comparison, so even though they've got their online discounts and what have you, I doubt whether it would make up for the fact that this place gives a three-year membership is pretty damn good. Some places give lifetime memberships, but 3 years is quite reasonable, I think. And they recognise the old bastards, which is nice. There were a few Jerrys there, and there were a few Richmond supporters behind me. But they left about halfway through the second quarter, which was strange. They sounded like they were pretty into the game, and then they just, I turned around, there's a different group of people. And it's about 3 goals difference between the sides. Geelong's ahead, and it looks like they might win, but you never know. But it's getting dark. I want to make my own dinner, so I'll go home. It's about 5:30, 5:45. And it was just good to get out and watch a bit of it. And actually, it's not a bad place to watch a bit of football. There's no sound. It's the only downside. And when I was sitting on the other side, it was in that area. I got more of the PA with all the racing crap, but I couldn't really hear it on that side, so it was pretty good. So it's not a bad arrangement, and the people there, staff, seem pretty friendly. It's pretty busy compared to Steve's East's Leagues Club, which he goes to. When I went there, it was very quiet, but this place was is much busier. I think it's probably the where the locals do hang out. So it's taken me a year to do it, but finally I got round to popping round there. And it's about a half-hour walk back home. No big deal, especially when the weather's like this. It's pretty benign. It's a much nicer day than yesterday. Yesterday was quite nippy about midday, but today it's fine. So I'll just cut across back to Kewarra Beach, and I'll be home in about 25 minutes, I guess. It's not too bad. I'll make myself some spagol. I've still got a bit of the sauce left, and I've done all my washing, so it won't take me long to prepare it. And just nice to get out and about and do something different like this, and makes you feel more part of the local community, I guess, too. But taking my time to do it, I'm pretty slow on the uptake. Anyway, I'll come back there when Richmond's not being broadcast. It's a strange time. The match was on today at 4:30, which is a bit unusual. It wasn't actually at Geelong's home ground. It's actually a home game for Melbourne, so it's at the MCG. But they're still trailing Geelong. Geelong are a tough side, so we'll see what happens. But I think it depends on how someone like Dustin Martin plays. He's back on the field. Hopefully he still hasn't got the lurgy. He had a bit of a flu outbreak and he's just recovering from that. Hopefully he'll be able to compete fairly well in the second half. We'll need him, I think. Geelong's a hard team to beat. So it'll be a good match, but I just don't want to hang around for the second half, given that it's a 4:30 start. If it was an earlier start, like a traditional time when it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, that'd be much better. I'd definitely watch the whole match, but not under these circumstances. So I'll get to use my discount card next time. That's all right. Whew. I've been down this particular road. You can cut down here too. Oyster Court is another place. When I got my bike back, when I bought my bike and rode it back, I went down Oyster Court to get back to Kewarra. So that's another way you can do it. But I'll stick to the way I came. Not that it makes any difference. Same distance. Maybe I should have gone the other way down Oyster. I won't. I'll just check it on the map to double check that is the way, because it gets me off the main road. Kewarra Beach sign just off the main road, so that's quite convenient, pointing this direction, and it's quite accurate because this is the way to get back there. So that's quite good information. At least it's not raining today. Hopefully my plants will do okay. I've got to get some more soil around my tree ferns tomorrow before I plant them. And I've got my pineapple tree as well, or bush, whatever. I think they're similar to banana trees, which are sort of like clumpy, sort of, they're sort of more like shrubs, big shrubs. I know they can get very big because I've driven past them as a passenger, and they can get very large in the commercial crop areas. So, and that's going to be a problem because Russia supplies most of the world's fertilizer. So tying ourselves globally to Russia has ended up being a bit of a disaster all round, especially for the Europeans. But it's also going to affect the third world big time, because crops are going to be diminished because they don't have access to the fertilizers. Presumably they'll find other sources apart from Russia, but it has made life very difficult. And this very delicate supply chain that's been set up over the years has pretty well come a cropper on two fronts. One, COVID, and secondly, the Ukrainian war. It doesn't take that much to really rock the boat when it comes to these sorts of setups. They're not, countries weren't looking like they did in the past, where they made sure they had access to strategic resources in case of times of conflict or disruption. And we've been living in a bit of a fantasy world for the last few decades, and it seemed to work out okay, but it's been a huge reality check with those two big events taking place. And now, because Russia is now basically a pariah state that people in the West won't even deal with, they're kidding themselves as they think they're going to be able to live anyway like they did before. They're not going to. They're going to have to basically take a huge hit in their standard of living in Russia. It's going to be... Putin has basically killed off the future of so many young Russians with his reckless actions, in my opinion. So anyway, we'll see. This is the pathway that connects Trinity Beach, which I'm in right now, to Kewarra Beach on the other side there. So this is the walkway, and once I get over there. Jesus, those cockies, I'll tell you, they've got good vocal cords. Yeah, so once I get here, I'm in Kewarra again, I guess, officially. I presume it's that creek that is the defining line between the two beaches. And then I'll head down this particular road to Poolwood, and I'm basically back home. Just another 20 minutes or so to go, and I'll be back in my neck of the woods. A distinctive entranceway to that particular house with the huge lawn frontage. When I was actually coming down this way, I was passed by, I think, about half a dozen kids on electric scooters. All the guys were in the front and the girls were lagging behind. But yeah, pretty popular, the old electric scooters around this area. It's very quiet, it's very safe area. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that if you've got kids, it's you feel fairly safe letting them out in the streets around here. There's not much traffic. There you go, Trinity Beach sign, just the opposite of the other one which said Kewarra, so information's pretty good. So, just got to get down to Kewarra Street, and then I'll find my road up to the left, and I'll be home in about a quarter of an hour, I'd imagine. So it's been a good walk. If you're going to go to the pub, it's nice to actually get a bit of exercise coming and going. Makes me feel a little less guilty. Well, the beer was nice and cold, and it was the full strength Great Northern schooners that I had. $6.90 a schooner with a 10% discount once I use my new card. So not a bad deal, really. Plus I'm in the draw for something called a cash and carry prize, which can be $1,000 or $500. So that'd go down well. If I got it, I'm not expecting anything, but apparently I'm in the draw because I'm using my card. So that's another bonus of being a member, I guess. $5 for 3 years membership, I think I can handle that. I think that's pretty reasonable. I should last maybe 5 months of that period the way I'm going. We'll see how we go. Frustrating old day. The sun's going down over there. It looks quite nice. Curious birds floating around here and just getting quite friendly, actually. I'm waiting for home brew supplies. The Branches Nursery were a total no-show today. I was supposed to have a delivery today and they didn't turn up. And it's about 25 to 6, and I want to be down at the beach shack because there's a meetup there, but I'm getting, getting roadblocks all over the place. Maybe I should just go and just let them deliver the bloody home brew at my front door. Hopefully it'll be all right, but I'm just... The guy said he'd be about 5:30 and it's now 5:35. People up here sort of over, the only ones that are professional about deliveries is Coles. They're pretty good, but everybody else seems to just bullshit you. They don't care. They just okay, there's a car coming now. That could be it. No, it's going the wrong direction. Yeah, the home brew guys delivers, which is great. It's a good service, but I just get sick of waiting for people, especially when it's like Branches don't even bother delivering at all. No phone call, nothing. Just it's not good enough. So I'm a little frustrated. I just want to go and check out this new meetup group, which is for 50s plus singles in the northern beaches, which is ideal. They also have dues at Trinity Beach, so it's actually both these venues are very accessible to me, which is unusual. So it works. It ticks a few boxes for me, so I'm very happy with it. look, I might just go. I told him I'd just leave the gate open. He can push it open and put the stuff in. I mean, who knows how long he's going to be. I could wait around, but is it really worth it when the branches didn't even bother showing at all, which has never happened before. That's rather poor. So I've had them delivered to me twice, and they were much more professional than this. So not happy. There's a lot. I'll lock the door and I'll get head off. I think. Bugger this. Make a decision. I think because branches didn't show, I don't see why I should allow this mob to stuff me around as well. So hopefully my homebrew stuff will be there when I get back. But it all happens on the one day that I'm actually want to go out. You know, it's so typical. Everything seems to work that way. It's just normally I have no commitments whatsoever. But today, anyway, I'll go down to the beach shack. Hopefully my home brew will be there when I get back. Yeah, I just want to get away from the place, you know, being housebound all day. You know, that's the annoying thing. You've got to hang around the house all day. And, you know, people have got lives. You want to do other things. Kewarra Street in twilight towards the resort. And the beach shack is off to the right, where the beach is, so it makes sense. And might have a glass of vino. I actually had one before I left. I had the remnants of last night's bottle of red I bought at Dan Murphy's, and it was a bit of a heart starter before I got there. And but they had pizzas there, so I might try there. Hopefully they'll sell them by the slice. I don't want to get a whole pizza, so I presume that they'll have that option, and give it a go. It's very quiet down here. This is Friday night, and it's very suburban, this part of the town. I don't think anyone's going to nick my home brewing stuff. I gave them instructions about going through the gate and what have you. I find it hard to believe that the plants would still be being delivered at this hour. I'll give them a call tomorrow and find out what the hell happened. Not that it matters that much. It's not like especially this late in the day, I've got no time to plant anything anyway. That's why I like having morning deliveries. That's why Coles is great, because they generally turn up in the mornings, and that's perfect for me. And you've got the rest of your day free. But when you've got to wait a whole day for a delivery, that doesn't show. It just totally stuffs you around. Yeah, there's some very expensive properties here. My neighbour John was saying that the big mansion that just down the road there that goes up to where I live, that's owned by a Russian who owns a lot of properties up here. Mega rich. So rich he has to have security. So that sort of gives you an idea. And yeah, I think there's one of the properties here is listed at over 6 mil. It might be that one, I don't know. There's a couple of properties on the market at the moment. One was 2.5 mil, and that would be a relatively modest place. But the other one's like 6.5 mil. And because the beach is just beyond these houses, they've actually got a beach frontage in effect. They've got a pathway between the beach, but it's still it's as close to the beach as you're going to get any of these properties. So yeah, pretty good. It's quite swish, this little resort. It's quite an upmarket little area. It's pretty quiet. There's obviously the need for more. I would assume this is where the beach hut is. I can hear the music, which is not a good sign. It's not geriatric friendly. I think I have to go this way. I haven't entered this way. I've normally gone via the actual beach itself to get there, so this is a new experience for me, trying this direction. Yeah. So, because I don't know how much of this is going to show on my camera at this hour. It's getting close to 6 o'clock in the middle of winter. and I've got no idea where the group is, but that's the beach shack anyway, so I found it. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.